this is Frosty and welcome to my first video of my new channel, Frosty Gaming. So a little bio on my channel is that we're going to be talking about video games, and specifically for the first dozen of videos we'll be talking about Warframe, and we'll be analyzing the game, like talking about the aspects of the game, you know, like story and gameplay, what we can do better, things like that, or just plainly have speculations on things that are happening in the game, whether it would be story, community stuff, and all that. So yeah, I'll be focusing at first on Warframe. So that's the bio of the channel. So if you guys want to support, you can like this video after watching it or while you watch it and all that, and you can comment and also subscribe to the channel. Since it's new, this will help me grow and make it better for for me to make more content and all that. So yeah, I'm thanking you guys in advance for supporting the channel and all that. So putting the advertising aside, let's get into the stuff about this video. So today we're asking the question, how can we get more content from Warframe? Whether it's story, gameplay, missions, whatever you want it to be, we want to discuss how we can get more content for that, because I don't know if any of the players who finished the star chart have noticed is that there's not much to do in Warframe. Sure, there are the syndicates, bounties and all that, but it feels a bit repetitive if I'm not, and there's no sense of progression while you're doing it. Yes, you get rewards and resources and all that, but still it's the illusion is dead basically. So today we're just going to discuss how we can break that, and I will list 2 things that the developers can do to have recurring content for players on the star chart especially. All right, so let's get into it. So the first point is simple, is about regular side story missions that fit the lore of the game. This one is so important for players like me, because one of the reasons why I started playing Warframe was because of the story. So with more story coming on a regular basis would make players like me come back to the game. And there are players like me, there are players that like story, and these players might leave because there's not much story, but as soon as there's a new story, they come back. So imagine if they're coming back on a regular basis. That would make the gaming have more players and have more fun with it. So firstly, they should have a target of how much story content they want to come out, per certain of time. So an example I'll give is 4 times a year. So if they decide that 4 times a year they'll be releasing a story quest, right? A side story quest that will feed into the lore and also have fun with the gameplay. So this will allow us to expect something as players. So anticipation is fun. So let's say for 2020 they release a roadmap for these side stories. Like there'll be side story number 1, side story number 2 released on this date. So these quests, while waiting for them, they'll build anticipation that the game needs. So YouTubers will be talking about them. Like obviously if they do that, I'll be talking about these stories and all that. And when they come out, people play them, they talk about them, and then they're now waiting for the next one. This is a recurring thing that will keep happening, and it will gain traction for the game, and people will have content to talk about from the game. So yeah, that's a way of looking at it. And the missions do not have to be cinematic, number 1, because cinematic missions, they take time. They'll need to have to put a lot of time to that. But if they make the missions simplistic, with just characters talking like on the side, like what they used to do, like with the Maru quests, like the Stolen Dreams, I believe that's the name. If they do how they did it with that quest, it may make it easier for them to just write out lines of dialogue just to pop up while you're playing the game, the quest, and then that will make it easy for them. These stories should be small and should add something to the main story. Like for example, right now players are anticipating the new war, so this story should add a little bit of something to the new war. This makes it easier for us to expect something with the game, So giving out little hints, or maybe past lore. For example, maybe something about Natal, something about Hanhao, something about the mother, and all that. That will help us players actually get into all that and have more hype for the new war, for example. So those are my thoughts. If you guys have any criticisms on these thoughts, comment down below. Let's have a discussion about this. It's fun that way. So with that, the first point is done. The second point is having a system that will reset planet nodes with higher difficulty. So what do I mean by this? So as we all know, as Warframe players, if you're done with the star chart, one thing you notice is that the star chart is basically wasted, because if you go to Earth, you one-shot the enemies. It's boring. It's basically boring. Because I remember when I was doing the weird faction mission with the plants and all that, we had to go to Earth a lot, and the enemies were so easy, it was actually annoying. So how can we fix that? And the reason why this is important is because planets like Earth and Venus, they have really nice levels. Like the levels are really look good. Like the Earth tile set, for example, it's fun to go through because it's Earth. It's more familiar. I like it because it's familiar, because I live on Earth. So yeah, going there is gonna be fun. But it can't be fun if the enemies are just too easy. So how can we fix this? How can this be fixed? So the first thing we can do, or the first idea that we can pull out, is resetting the missions. So after finishing the star chart, for example, let's say the star chart specific planet, like maybe Earth, will be reset as a recurring thing, or maybe all the planets could be reset as a recurring thing, and they will set maybe a time and a date where these planets will be reset. For example, every 3 months these planets will be reset. So 4 or 5 planets will be reset, and you have to complete them and get certain rewards that will actually force you to do it. So these rewards must be enticing. Like for example, maybe if you finish the reset planets, you get maybe an affinity booster, credit booster, whatever, maybe a Riven mod. They should do it sort of the same way as sorties are done, except sorties are daily, but this can be a bit more long term, so that you can go through these missions and all that and have fun. So that way people have reasons to revisit the older planets. So obviously with this system there could be problems that can arise when it comes to developing it. So there's one problem with the new players. So new players, if the planetary stuff is being reset, what will happen with the new players when they reach that planet, for example, that's been reset with higher difficulty and all that? Well, the way they can solve that is having choice, giving player choice on difficulty. So you know how like I remember this from older games where you choose the difficulty you want to play. For example, Darksiders 2, you can play on apocalyptic, hard, medium, and easy, stuff like that. So because he's a newer player and this is the first time him going through the star chart, maybe they can choose the lower level, the easier level, so that they can actually play through. Or this can only be available for players that have completed the star chart at first, and then they can now have the choice to choose the difficulty of that level. So when the planets are reset, they can choose between, maybe like after completing the star chart, they can choose between hard and very hard. So hard could be level 30 to maybe 30 to 50 enemies, and then very hard is going to be 60 going up, something like that. So yeah, those are my ideas on how we can do that. If you guys have any suggestions or criticism whatsoever, please comment down below, and when you do that, we can discuss it all and have fun with it. So thanks for watching, guys. Support the channel by subscribing and liking the video. This will help grow the channel, since this is the first video. So you guys liking and subscribing and sharing the video will actually benefit me very much. And I don't know, you never know, if we get the word out there, maybe DE might listen. You might tickle their brain cells and they're like, oh well, this is a good idea, maybe we should actually do it. So you guys, if you like the video and subscribe, it'll get out there and they might actually come across it and like make some decisions to get this done. So thank you guys for watching, and I'm out.